Charlotte Hornets, joined by the NFL's Carolina Panthers, are severing ties with the security firm that both teams have been using. It's called CPI. This comes after an email from the company's CEO, Ken Gill, surfaced regarding those protesting police brutality and the murder of George Floyd. Gill wrote, quote, "A better use of time would be to focus on the black-on-black crime and senseless killing of our young men by other young men," end quote. Gill apologized after considerable backlash, but obviously the damage had been done. Here's the Hornets statement, quote, "Our chairman, Michael Jordan, has been very clear about his thoughts surrounding the issues of racial equality, social justice, and diversity. We believe it is appropriate at this time to end our partnership with CPI." This comes on the heels, guys, of Michael Jordan and his Jordan Brand company pledging to donate $100 million over the next 10 years to organizations fighting for racial equality and social justice. And here's what Michael recently told the Charlotte Observer, quote, "We have been beaten down for so many years. It sucks your soul. You can't accept it anymore. This is a tipping point. We need to make a stand. We've got to be better as a society regarding race." Kendrick, that is a lot. What is your reaction to how vocal Michael Jordan has been on this issue after he spent most of his life remaining publicly quiet on social issues?
Well, Rachel, I've never been so proud of Michael Jeffrey Jordan in my life, or as some fans may call him and some athletes, Black Jesus. Listen, you know the saying, he may not come when you want him, but he's always on time. And here it is, Michael Jordan. Here it is, Michael Jordan, who's had a reputation of not being vocal and speaking out for the African-American community. Right now, he's doing a great job. And for a man of power, it's the difference between being popular and powerful. And Michael Jordan is powerful. And what he did was, not only did he make a bold statement, but he put his money where his mouth is, and he made a power move. And then, you know, they had a lot of people that were calling out the owners of all leagues, of all U.S. sports leagues, and calling them out to speak out on the behalf. And what did Michael Jordan do as being the only African-American majority owner? He stood on the front line and set the tone. So I couldn't be more proud of Michael Jordan right now, the way that he stepped up for the African-American culture, and what he's doing right now with his power is beyond beautiful.
And I think, Perk, we've been seeing this coming with Michael Jordan. And you're right, as a player, and he mentioned it in The Last Dance, actually, that singular focus he felt was necessary to be the best he could be. He even questioned in the documentary, could I have done more? Maybe. Fair comparison. But over recent years, you know, I think it was about 4 years ago, he donated $1 million to the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. He was a founding donor of the Smithsonian's National African American Museum. I think that was a $5 million donation. This is just a more reflective Michael Jordan, guys. The Jordan that I covered in the middle of those championships, he wasn't thinking about these things. But as I've talked to Michael Jordan in recent years, he's someone that's very socially conscious, that wants to make a difference. And boy, is he putting his money where his mouth is. That is a very big number for both him and Nike.
Absolutely. I mean, look, guys, what people are asking for in America right now is change, right? None of this works if we're all just preaching to the choir. There has to be people doing things they weren't doing before. And in Michael's case, as you noted, Jackie, he said in The Last Dance, speaking out on social issues, holding his views up for public inspection, that wasn't natural to him. But also, The Last Dance showed us Michael Jordan is still one of the most popular humans in America. His voice has tremendous power. So if he's changing the way he uses that voice, that's incredible. And that change is something that is going to help hopefully domino and lead to other changes. Right, Kendrick?
Yeah, you're right. And listen, Rachel, to piggyback on some of your points, think about this, right? Jordan now is, what, 58 years old, so he's seen a lot. Throughout his years. He's seen a lot of racism. He's seen a lot of things that had to do with the African-American culture. And you're right, Jackie, he has put up money quietly and not voiced. But for him to speak out, like the $100 million is beyond beautiful. But when Michael Jordan speaks, listen, he has a fan base that ranges from 10 years old to 100 years old. I know senior citizens that still listen to Michael Jordan. So when he speaks out, it just sings a different song, in my opinion. So it's great to see that MJ is changing as a man and coming to speak out on behalf of the culture and on behalf of civil rights and just the whole situation at hand.
You know what would really be beautiful, Perk? If all the other NBA majority owners, I'm not saying you have to donate $100 million, but wouldn't it be something if each of them stood up and matched this? Because one of the things I keep hearing from the many athletes that I've spoken to in the last week, my own people in my life who are African American, they keep saying to us, we're ready to affect change. African Americans are. And what about corporate America? What about white people in power in corporate America? When will they step up, both in their words and their actions, and perhaps in this case, their wallets? So why don't we put a challenge out there to all the other NBA owners to step up and also make a donation, just as Michael Jordan has done?
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.